Cup of Joe. I am your host, Joe Van Campen. Today we have two very special guests with us, Diana, who is the Director of Art and Design, and Keri, who is the Manager of Content and Strategy. So to start things off, Diana, how does brand identity play into the overall cohesiveness of the marketing strategy?
Hey, to answer this question, Joe, I have to share a personal story, and then I will explain in the process how these three factors that will play into my story connects to the cohesiveness of the brand and how that will work with the marketing strategy. Okay, I went shopping at Shoppers Drug Mart, a drugstore where I went to buy shampoo and conditioner, my usual stuff. Then I ran into this new product on the shelf that I've never seen before. It was very attractive. Somehow it made me connect to it instantly. But knowing that I'm not there to buy new products or try new things, I just picked up my old usual stuff and I left. But what ended up happening there is brand awareness. Like I'm seeing something for the first time and I made a mental note. And so that's how that brand has interacted with me by creating awareness. A month later, I went back to buy my usual shampoo and conditioner again. Apparently, I buy a lot of shampoo and conditioner. This time, I saw the same brand on the shelf, but this time I just didn't look at it. I went and grabbed it. I read what's on it. I opened the bottle to smell. But again, I'm not there to buy it. I went to buy my usual stuff. So that's exactly what I did. I put it back on the shelf and then I got my usual stuff and left. But this time, it created the brand familiarity because now I know this brand. I had the interest to interact with it a little bit more than I did the first time. Third month, back again to buy more shampoo and conditioner. I bought this time I was more intrigued. I picked up my phone, started researching about this brand, and I went on their website to learn more about them. The feeling I got when I saw this shampoo bottle was the same feeling their website and their social media gave me. And I read what they stand for. It was again the same emotions that evoked me when I just saw the shampoo bottle on the shelf. So now they have gained my trust, the brand trust. So this brand has been building for 3 months to create the equity, the brand equity, all because of the cohesiveness they offered of the product that's on the shelf versus what's on their social media versus on their website. When you go into someone's business, you want to know that you're in the right place. So if, let's say they have a specific paint color on their wall, you want to capture that color to bring into your website, into your social media, because as soon as they see that color, they should recognize that it's you. So that level of cohesiveness is what makes a marketing strategy successful. So, yeah.
Very cool. Now I'm super curious about this shampoo. So no, that's okay. You don't have to say the brand, but what was it about that brand that stuck out to you? Because there's new stuff on the shelves all the time. What was it that really drew your attention in?
It was designed to bring that calmness and then the natural feel because there's just so many chemicals in the products these days. But then there's only so many products that portrays that they bring natural ingredients. And when we're looking for things, it's so difficult to do the research yourself and then see, oh, is this good or is that good? But then when it's very clear in their packaging, it's easy for us to get drawn to the right product. So that's what stood out to me. And then I feel like this could be natural, could be something I can use safely without having to worry about what chemicals I'm putting into my body. So that's the type of feeling a brand should evoke. For example, if you're going to a doctor, you don't want to go into a feeling, oh, I'm scared of doctors. They always give me medicines that I don't like to take. That's the type of feeling that you want to avoid. But this brand had the right colors, the right font choices, and the right amount of information in the right places and to give me the right feeling. So they attracted their target audience right away.
Very cool. Diana, you mentioned font choices. Keri, I'm going to pass that off to you because obviously the font choice itself is a huge component of that brand identity, but how does content play into that?
Yeah, I think it's really cool that Diana mentions font choices because that is more of a design aspect. In terms of content, it's about saying the right things. You need to be true to yourself and to your brand. And it sounds like they were saying the right things for Diana in terms of mentioning the natural product and having those important key factors front and center on that product.
Very cool. So the two of your strategies kind of play hand in hand. So how do the two of you end up working together to make sure that that brand identity is 100% cohesive and that you guys are 100% aligned when you're building that identity out for a senior living community, as an example, or a group of senior living communities? I'll pass it to Diana first because that was kind of like, who are you talking to first? Go ahead, Di.
Um, from a design perspective, brand identity speaks to the visual aspect, right? Like, and when let's imagine the brand is a person. We will make instant connection, or we will start feeling like, oh, I like that person, I like their style just by the way they dress, they look, and how they present themselves, right? So those are the aspects of the visual design side. And then along with those visual design, it evokes these good feelings in you. So those are the aspects that visual design does in a brand identity. In what's the word? Along with content, it brings the other things like the authenticity, the trust. Without content playing a huge role in an identity, design can fall apart. Like it can only make an impression to a certain length. Once you start interacting with that person, like the imaginary brand person, you will know more about how they speak, how they feel about things, how they talk to people, and how they present themselves through their words and actions. So those are the aspects that completes the other aspect of a brand identity. I mean, comparison to the visual design.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like to think of design as being kind of that first impression, that thing that gets you interested. You realize, oh, like I really like the way this looks and it appears and it appeals to me. And then as soon as you start reading into the content, you're noticing this is who they are, how they speak, how they come across. So that's really where the messaging comes in. And we really need those two things to align. If you have a design that's fun and bubbly, and then you have content that's really, I don't know, medical and terse, then you're going to be thinking like, what's going on here? Whereas if you have, the fun, courageous design with the fun, bold, confident content, you're getting that cohesiveness. It's going to build that authenticity and help build that trust as well.
Yeah. Going back to my first example, the shampoo bottle. Yeah. Let's say that shampoo bottle wasn't the color that attracted me to give that right feeling. It's pink with ponies and rainbows. I would immediately assume it's for kids. And I would have not looked, I wouldn't be interested to look into it further. Right. But it makes that very sharp distinction between how it's presented, the colors we choose, the psychology, and all of that. So when we're talking about visual design, it's not just the way it looks. What are the elements that makes it the way it looks? It's the color, fonts, and then what's the other thing I'm blanking out? Uh, the graphical elements that brings it all together.
Very cool. So obviously the two of your teams work hand in hand in trying to figure out this brand identity. Keri, maybe I'll pose this question to you and then we can move to Diana. Walk me through the process of identifying what that brand identity actually looks like.
Sure. Meeting with the client is the first and foremost important thing. We help them, if they haven't already discovered who their brand is, really what they want their content to look like, their tone and voice and all of that, we'll walk them through a series of questions just to get an idea of that and then build on that from there. A lot of the times we're going to outline what the voice is, which is the who is speaking. It's who you are as a person, as your brand identity. And then we'll go into more of what the tone is. So that's kind of the way you're saying it, how you're saying it. That can vary from platform to platform, whether it's your website, it could be in person as well. That's an important aspect of your tone. Or if you're on social media, sometimes it's a little more lighthearted and fun to interact with. Beyond that, we do create personas and have general descriptors and a lot of notes on each of our clients so that we can really hone in on who they are, how they speak, what they do.
From a design standpoint, our journey starts pretty much the exact same way content does, because most of the time we're in the same call with the same people at the same time.
Right.
So we ask them a series of questions to identify or help them identify what they want, how they want to present themselves, because we can guide them to get there on their own, as opposed to telling them what they need, because we are not them. And then the other important aspect about discovering what should be the brand identity is to help our clients understand that the brand is not about them. It's about the people they are trying to target. So most people will come into this whole discovery process thinking they are the brand, and now it's our job to discover who they are as a person and bring that into brand identity aspect. But then again, it goes back to that, if that shampoo bottle was in the color that I would have liked, and if it was pink, they're missing the point, because the company who made it is probably the owner's favorite color. That doesn't target me. They've lost the chance to convert me into a real client. So that's exactly how this works. We encourage and guide our clients to make that distinction at the very beginning, so they can see that the brand is about the people that they are trying to serve, as opposed to it's for themselves. And then, like Keri said, we start off by building the user's journey and see how they want to interact with the brand and what type of issues or pain points it's solving for their clients. And then we build off of the journey of the brand from there.
Very cool. During that interview process, who needs to be part of that? Is it the vice president of marketing? Is it like who would you include into that meeting?
Anyone with the final say. Like going back to the discovery stage, we have to establish who's got the final say in the matter. Everyone can have an input, everyone can make recommendation, but who needs to agree for us to move forward, who needs to make the final call is more important. And we cannot decide that for the client. It has to be defined internally before they even come to us. And the first stage during the discovery call, we would ask them, so who is the main stakeholder here? Who's got the D in the matter, the decision in the matter? Yeah.
Very cool. Keri, for content creation and all of that, one of the main focuses that one of the things that we really try to focus on is empathy. Tell me about how you take that brand identity and bridge that through to the empathy side. I know in the senior living space, a lot of them choose empathy as a component of their brand identity, but how do you do that? What does that look like?
Yeah. I think in the senior living space, empathy is a huge part of it. We don't know everyone's journey on how they got to where they are looking at these communities. Everyone gets there in a different way. So when we're looking at the content strategy, empathy is a huge part of it. Even if it is the most fun senior community out there, they have pickleball and all the rest. We know it's fun, it's going to be a good time. So it's good to show those things, but also be a little bit sensitive that this is a hard decision for a lot of families.
Yeah. Diana and Keri, thank you guys so much for joining Cup of Joe. Really appreciate you taking the time and this awesome energy that you brought to this. If you have questions for our team here at Citizen, please reach out info@citizen55.com or just join our site, citizen55.com, and follow us on social media. Thank you so much.
Thank you.